Welcome to the bold analysis. I have just arrived back after going to Kasarani, and my intent to at least give it a closure has turned out to be a big trauma. I'm a bit traumatized by what I saw in Kasarani. And I want to say this, that the things Raila fought for amongst them was actually police reforms. It is so embarrassing that when Raila Odinga was alive, his life was riddled with live bullets and tear gas canisters. And disrespectfully, 3 people are shot dead in a solemn occasion that was simply to go and view the body. I want to say this: state is completely out. They completely got this wrong. They completely got that wrong. I've just come from Kasarani, so I'm going to narrate what I've also seen from my own lenses. Now, sorry. I don't understand, surely, why Homa Bay Governor Wanga and Opiyo Wandayi went to Mayenga FM and rushed to tell the people that let us go, you guys rush to Kasarani for body viewing without even proper plans on how that was going to be done. I want to play for you a snippet of this analysis. It's a short site analysis that I did when I was in Kasarani, just to give you a glimpse of what was happening in Kasarani. The number is huge. Kenyans are seated in the terraces, of course waiting patiently, but there seems to be no direction. And this has exposed how unprepared we are for some of the crises that we have. You know, let me shock you, in this stadium, even if the leaders want to give direction, I completely don't see how they're supposed to do that, because even the sound is not there. So probably the people, Kenyans who are already here, are waiting, just glued in social media, to see any change or any communication that will come from that place. Because my thinking was, having witnessed what happened in JKIA, they were supposed to make plans so that this other side, it would work. But 2 hours we've been standing here, we've been waiting, even to hear what is the next course of action, but there seems to be nothing. I think what they have actually done is an attempt to control the crowd, because I do agree the number of Kenyans in this stadium are huge. And if this was the number that was supposed to get to Lee Funeral Home or Parliament, then they would not really control this. This is not a crowd they would be able to control. And as you can see in these footages, we have seen the supporters and Kenyans who are already here in their numbers, just moving around the stadium, waiting for communication or whether Raila Odinga's casket would appear anywhere in the corner or any corner of this stadium. But that seems not to be coming out, and that is why you can see some people have started even walking out, waiting for what will be. And I think we need to be prepared, because that is one thing this has exposed. Because Raila Odinga is a movement, and starting from the patron of Gor Mahia and the other activities that he's been doing, a man who has given it all for this country has really sent the country in panic. So there is total standstill in Kasarani, because there seems to be anyone who can communicate. There seems to be anyone who can say anything at this moment. And even if he or she is to say it, I may want to ask, how are they going to do it? There seems to be no communication completely about the plans in the side. There were worries that Odinga's body had not been preserved, and that is why it was in the plan of the state that immediately they leave the JKA, they take the body to Lee Funeral Home. Then from Lee Funeral Home, they can now bring it for public viewing. Remember, the plan for it also for a public viewing to happen in Parliament was not possible. So yes, people were comfortably seated. The ground was full to the brim, and they were waiting for the guest. The man was lying in the casket. So really, as I questioned, I don't know how they were going to talk to people about this and that while even there was no communication channel. No, even hata zile screens hazikuwa zinafanya. So the people were just running helter-skelter there without a specific direction as to what was to be done. And remember, the body of Raila was already lying there, although ilikuwa imepelekwa huko Indo Arena. So, a very unfortunate, and I want us to look at how this unfolded, how it reached to that point of someone even shot, being shot, dead. People were just running, and the crowds were all over the stadium. But there was some unusual silence, like no one knew what next, what's going on. And some rogue characters started throwing some stones in the VIP dais. That VIP dais, look at this video. That VIP dais, hakukuwa na watu. There were some few people there, but not so many. And I agree with, I was just talking to a police officer, a very friend of mine, nikianalyze video nikamuuliza, nimemtumia video nikamuuliza, Buda, nyinyi ndio mnafanya, as in, mbona ilikuwa hivyo irushe, mbona? And those guys were completely wrong. But the danger was not that huge. So, just around that place where that thing was happening, kulikuwa na watu walikuwa wamejaa wengi. The crowd was very huge at that point. What we saw next is this video. I want you to imagine venye stadium, venye ile video nikuonyesha stadium imejaa, wakarusha tear gas hapo. Yes, there was a way to disperse it. Kuna watu wako kwa stadium, kwa uwanja where the football is normally played, and then kuna watu wako kwa terraces. At that point, what you needed to do is to communicate to these people what is going on. And that is why you are seeing the video of, this is the video of Sifuna, really wondering, was throwing his hands in the air, as in, why are they throwing tear gas in the stadium? Na ilikuwa watu wachache. Let me tell you, it was some 3-4 people. It was something very small. They could actually manage and just push that crowd away from the VIP dais so that they be on the other side. And can I tell you, I took this video myself. By this time, mimi nika move out of the stadium. By the way, you see this thing, zinakuanga mbili hapa, so that when you're doing interview unaekea mtu mwingine. So one imeenda nayo, someone has snatched it. Yeah, mtu ameiba hii. Now, outside, look at this video. Tear gas imerushwa, whatever happened, ile kitu silirushwa kwa stadium. If you want to know, they were very malicious. Hii yenye walirusha nje ya stadium ilikuwa ya nini? Check this video. Let's assume the issue was wamerusha mawe kwa VIP dais, which is high risk, of course. The dignitaries are seated there. That was a bad thing. And let's take that the tear gas stadium was fine. But how about this one? And this one I captured myself. So the whole thing was huge. Mpaka tukakuwa choked. And I was choked, but I still moved. Now I decided to go back to the stadium instead of moving out, because since I injured, there was already stampede. So when I went out to the stadium, I saw my eyes, 3 people going down.
Ya kichwa, amepigwa ya kichwa.
Live bullet, shooting 3 people dead. Guys, some young people dead. And by this time, hata kuna watu kwa uwanja. So apparently the GC officer wanted the stadium to be clear. How do you want the stadium to be clear, but body viewing bado inafaa ifanyike? As I talk to you, people are in the stadium. And recklessly shot 3 people dead. Raila nikendine gengato. Let me ask. Hii giti Raila tena mtu alikuwa na uawa? Surely. 3 people shot dead. Check this video. Immediately, police made their way to the stadium to come and collect the 3 bodies. That is them. Of course, the NYS guys created a ring around the three gentlemen, the deceased, the ones that were shot. So that's why you will not see most of these footages in public, because they knew people would take the videos and that will go viral and that can probably charge the masses. So the NYS guys that were around created a ring. Probably, I think they were ordered to create a ring around. Then the bodies, they came to collect the three bodies. And why I'm saying they were malicious, do you know a citizen journalist who was covering that was attacked by the police? They were demanding that the footages zitolewe. If you're doing the right thing, mbona unataka footages zitolewe? What I've seen in Kasarani, honestly speaking, we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. And there's some theories I'm hearing that probably the shooting and the tear gas was to cause commotion so that they could do something on the body. Of course, they could preserve the body. The league guys were already there to help preserve the body. Someone is saying that. Some other person is also saying that they wanted to reduce the number of people that were in the stadium, because people like me, when I saw those three young men shot, I wish hata nipate family. Yani hiyo video nimeona, yes, we have a long way to go. By then I was willing to wait, nipange line at least niende nione, but how? That video traumatized me, because this is something I captured. This is something I saw. But I saw guys went down, so I was like, what's going on? Tap, tap, tap. Just around, unaona kwa hii post ya coach. If you've ever gone to Kasarani, where the coaches sit, when there is a football match there, where the coaches sit around the gate, hapo. There. 3 men shot. I found that, and sorry to say this, but this is how the best way to say it. If we still pay money to bribe our way to bring people in our forces or our security ranks and load that sector with a bunch of idiots, then we have a long way to go. Because that was unnecessary. Kusema tu ukweli, hakukuwa na haja ya kuua vijana. Hakuna kitu iliibwa mwili. And the bodies huko juu. And if these guys were risk, mbona walipigwa risasi kwa hii post yenye iko opposite? Remember, this post, the post ya coaches anakaa is opposite the VIP dais where the other kills had happened. Come on. No. And so outside there, people descended with one-term chants. Let the security officers avoid actions that can trigger anger. Let's just avoid. And already, emotions are high. And I am not supporting those who threw stuff at the VIP dais. But I partly blame the people that were organizing all that. Because by the time mlikuwa mnaambia watu waende Kasarani, mngepeleka sound. Mngetengeneza hiyo sound ifanye. So that, number one, maybe some soothing song comes out. Number two, you're communicating that guy, the body of Raila Odinga is here, and you are making plans so that anytime from now, we'll start viewing. Remember, people are seated in the stadium for 1 hour. No communication. Surely. Hata kama. I want to say one thing I started with. Emotions are high. The security operations should be well managed. and like something is said, just manage it by Raila people. You know, apparently, the person who is the owner of the crowd is the person in the casket. Kama ingekuwa yeye ndiye angewatuliza. But emotions are high. These people who are there, if we look people's faces, people are distraught. We must be a little bit careful. Odinga's life, and let me say this as I finish, Odinga's life was riddled with tear gas canisters. The man escaped bullets and tear gas canisters. Mpaka hata akakufa akiwa na shida ya macho. Surely, it will be very irresponsible. It's a very worrying news. If someone is dying at Odinga's funeral. And I'm saying this because that was Nairobi. Kisumu is a different story. I'm telling you. Kisumu and Bondo will be different. I don't know whether you will go. I don't know whether you will again throw another tear gas canister in Mamboleo showground. I'm told the viewing has been moved to Mamboleo, not Kisumu. I think they are moving it away from Kenyatta. Okay, is it from Kenyatta to Mamboleo? They want to take it out at the CBD because Kenyatta Stadium is actually around Kisumu town, so it will not be convenient. Now on this end, we must get something very right. Watu wako na uchungu jamani. Tafadhali, we are human beings. Our brothers and sisters in uniform, it is very responsible to kill someone at this point. And number two, you never know. You never know. These videos will get viral and give us a different story. So video being going on. My God condole the family. My personal condolences and the Bold Podcast condolences to the family of Raila Odinga. Beyond him being a statesman, a politician, a leader, he also had a family. I've seen Ogeta. I've seen how people who are close to him were breaking down, especially wakati mwili ilikuwa naingia. And the best we can do for Odinga is maintain his legacy. It is so bad to kill someone now for Odinga. No.
Of the body to start with His Excellency, followed by the family. I request that we maintain our positions as outlined on the order.